Hey guys, hope you're doing good today. So, not even one day after Sam was extradited back to the US from the Bahamas, he is already out on a $250 million bond, staying with his parents in Palo Alto, California at this house. Now, I know what you're thinking. How in the world did he get out on bond? I'm going to go over some of those specifics, what exactly it means, and how they got the money for that, or are holding up the money for that in case he does violate any of his restrictions. So, first of all, I'm going to show you this quick video. I'm going to skip around, but this is when Sam was actually taken out and put back on bond. So I'm going to play this video real quick. So again, it's basically him going out of the court, and then there's actually some people that asked him a question about how could he lose investors' funds. So here, I'm going to fast forward it.
Get back, come on, guys, watch this. Get out of my car! Get out of my car! Sam, what do you say to your investors who've lost so much? Okay.
See, so he says, Sam, what do you say to your investors that have lost so much? So again, Sam doesn't say anything there and just goes back in, assuming he's going back to his parents' house now or taking a plane there. So let's talk about exactly what happened. And again, this case has been evolving, but I'm gonna go in as much as I can, try to make this quick and not too long. So long story short, it says there's a $250 million bond that was secured by his parents' interest in their California home and a requirement that he remain in home detention with them. Now, to answer where he got the money, Big Boy actually posted on his Twitter, love him or hate him, he said, "Where did Sam get $250 million? Follow the money trail, folks. More money left off the books. FTX users should be livid. $250 million moves from this address the day of extradition." Now, this makes a lot of sense because this bond, basically his parents were trying to work on this bond well before he was extradited back to the US. So it's been in works, whether for a couple days or a couple weeks. And you can see here on the 19th that there was $230 million worth of Bitcoin that has been transferred. So again, they have the funds, it was off the books, and it's just more corruption that's going on, right? So that should make you mad. And exactly, who knows how much more money they have off the books as well. But scrolling down, it says where he's going to remain in home detention with them. Now, what you have to realize is this isn't a $250 million that his parents have to pay right away. It's something that is contingent upon Sam staying at the house and not violating any of his restrictions. If he does, his parents are going to be on the hook for that $250 million. So again, a lot of people thought he already paid it. Nope. It's just a contingency plan in case he does escape his parents' house or try to do anything shady. Now, it says here, Mr. Bankman appeared in federal court just hours after his extradition from the Bahamas, where he was arrested at a luxury apartment on December 12th. And then it talks about his release. Also followed an announcement at two former executives. Again, my video I made yesterday of Caroline and Gary Wang pleading guilty to federal fraud charges. Now, I'm going to go over, this article has actually some examples of what was going on at FTX when Sam was trying to cover it up. So scrolling down here, it says, the $250 million personal recognizance bond has a written promise to appear in court as needed. Will be secured by the parents' Bay Area home. The judge said Mr. Bankman-Fried was also required to surrender his passport and to receive mental health evaluation and treatment. Any expenses above $1,000 will require prior approval by the government or courts. As part of the bail arrangement, Mr. Bankman-Fried will live with his parents, the Stanford Law professors Joe Bankman and Barbara Fried. He'll be under strict electronic monitoring, including a bracelet that was placed on him before he left the courthouse. Asked whether he understood, Mr. Bankman-Fried responded, quote, "Yes, I do." The only words he uttered in the hearing. So again, that's what's going on right now. That's where he's staying out with his parents, and those are the restrictions that he has to abide by. Now, something else I want to scroll down here and talk about is exactly what happens with Caroline and Gary Wang and exactly what they said. Okay, so it says Mr. Ellison, 28, for Caroline, became the chief executive officer of Alameda after Mr. Bankman-Fried started FTX. Mr. Wang, 29, helped Bankman-Fried found Alameda and FTX before serving as Exchange's chief technology officer. The charges against the two were in connection with their roles in the frauds contributed to FTX collapse. It says here, the cooperation deals make it significantly harder for Bankman-Fried to argue that he didn't know what was going on at FTX, said Rebecca Rofi, a former assistant director in Manhattan. Mr. Wang and Mr. Ellison also agreed to settle civil charges from the SEC and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Both agencies are pursuing cases against Mr. Bankman-Fried. Now, one of the things here, it says the SEC complaint against Mr. Ellison and Wang provides one of the most detailed accounts to date of the alleged fraud at FTX, claiming the two cooperators were closely involved in a scheme dating back to the company's founding in 2019. So since 2019, this stuff was going on, okay? That is crazy. And then even better here, It says, in 2019 and 2020, the complaint said Mr. Bankman-Fried instructed Mr. Wang and other FTX engineers to write software code that effectively allowed Alameda to borrow an unlimited amount of money from FTX. That software loophole was a technological basis for Alameda to misuse billions of dollars in FTX customer funds, the complaint claims. And then it says Mr. Bankman-Fried also worked closely with Ms. Ellison to manipulate the price of FTT. And basically, if it dropped by a certain threshold, then he would instruct Mr. Ellison to have Alameda purchase FTT to support the price. Again, this is why he was so imperative with CZ supporting that $22 level. Again, it's all a game. It's all been going on since they created the token. And then it says, in an interview, Gary Gensler, the chair of SEC, compared crypto tokens such as FTT that exchanges create to microcap fraud schemes, saying they resemble the thinly traded microcaps of dubious value that insiders control and manipulate. Okay, so as you can see, Sam was very much new and very much aware of what was going on at the company. No one had any question about that. No one believed his lies in court, etc. Right? He knew everything that was going on, and ever since the testimony from Caroline and Gary, he has basically hadn't had a leg to stand on, and he's been able, or hasn't been able, to really argue his way out of it. So this is basically everything that's going on right now. Again, Caroline and Gary are working with the SEC and the FBI to really nail down Sam and tell them anything that they knew and all the operations going on from the start of FTX. So we'll be interested to see what happens with this. Again, it sucks that he's out on bond right now, staying with his parents. You know, I wish at least he was at some jail or something, but we'll have to see what happens and, you know, how many charges are going to be brought against him, assuming he's going to get life, but you never know with this kind of stuff. So with that, if y'all enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a like, please comment, and please subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time.